Statistics, there's one property on the market in area 146. Average one, full price average 1,030,000, average days on the market 15 days. That's your statistics. That's like that.
That's not true days on market, though. You're trying to sell that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, this has been on the market with the heaters for on and off for like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Now it's actually a rock-built home with a remodeled kitchen, and they're trying to also lease it at $4,200 a month, and they'll do summer financing. So if you have any buyer, this is it. Okay, area 147. I guess I don't need this. You guys hear me, right? Okay, area 47. There are 12 active. Those 4, notice 50 by 150. 1130 5th Street, Love Value. Matthews, that's the one with the house in the front and one in the back. This, as of this morning, is pending, 1716 11th Street. That's a 50 by 150, south-facing. Not a great location because you're on 11th Street and you're east of Redondo Avenue. And a dump. I mean, you guys have seen that house. But most likely somebody bought it to fix it up because it's not a small house. It's quite a big house and it needs a lot of work. But that's what people are doing these days. Coming to Manhattan Beach, trying to get in for the schools, for the kids, and they're willing to fix it up. I actually went through taxes to figure out who is buying those little houses, and none of them seem familiar. They all trust in Mr. and Mrs., so I doubt there are any builders really buying there. The only lot that has sold that's being built is on 3rd Street, sold for $900. I talked to Matt Waxman yesterday, listed at 2.4 plus, and he has a lot of action on it. It's not even a full 50, about 50. So people who are buying the little old houses are buying to live there. Okay, the last one was 1126 6th Street, 50 by 150. That's not going to sell as far as I know because it's not a lot, because a lot should be more like 900. And it's not a house, it's like 900 square feet. But it's cute. I mean, buy it as bed and breakfast or something. The location is not that great because we're a little close to Sepulveda. Now, when I talk about location in East Manhattan, there are 2 issues. One, location because we as realtors think it's a bad location. And one is, it is a bad location. Okay? So east of Redondo Avenue, we as realtors think that the buyers won't like. It's too far east. Is there any concern about living there? Absolutely none. No traffic noise, you're close to the schools, good neighbors, but the prices are a little less than 1200 block, for example, 1300 block, or the 5th Street, you know, who everybody likes. 8th Street, for example, you have traffic lights, you have a Pollo Loco, 1100 block. It's going to affect your lifestyle. Okay, so that's what I mean by the idea of a bad location. In our mind, that is perfectly fine to live in, and a bad location because it's on Aviation or it is on Marine Avenue, or then there's actually something that affects the lifestyle. Okay, what's on the market? Notice that I didn't do any graphs. I don't do graphs. I don't know how to do graphs. I talk about specific properties. When a client tells me why is it worth this much, because the other one sold for this much. So you guys, if you want graphs, I know you'll do a better job than I do. So you have the statistics available to you. 1190 Keats has been on the market for a while. It's a small lot. It's too much money for a small lot. 2nd Street has also been on the market for a while. That's a busy street on 2nd Street. It's a traffic going back and forth. It has a pool on the wrong side because it's the north side. The pool is the north side. You want a south-facing yard.
That cuts out half the properties, doesn't it?
That what?
Cuts out half the property.
When you have a pool, that makes a difference. And that's also a shorter lot. So you have a pool that's a shorter lot on 2nd Street. You probably have too much money. And everything's okay if it's priced right. Right? I mean, there's a place on Curtis that sold for under 1.5, so why would that be so much more? Okay, Robin and Alicia's listings. 1461 9th Street and 1535 Ruland. Not too many on the market. They should be going soon. So take a look at those. No, that's not true there. 1750 Ruland is there. 1535 Ruland. 1500 block. I'll tell you a little bit about 1500 block of Ruland, Matthews, Nelson. Too close to the high school. It does affect your life. Kids park on your street. There's football games, people park on your street. So that's kind of affects the value a little bit. Okay? 1750 Ruland, there it is. Morty Weiner, 2,120,000, 2007. And that is the one I was talking about, being built on 3rd Street. The lot sold for $900. 3rd Street is considered a really good street. Why? Because it doesn't go through. There's a cul-de-sac at the end of 3rd Street, and there it ends. There's a blockage on Meadows, so you can't go through, so it's very quiet. So this is south-facing yard, but it's a shorter lot, because on that side of the street, they're 50 by 130. He's saying that there's a lot of action on it. The construction is done by Styles Construction. I don't know who that is, but apparently he worked with Vivek. All the builders who used to work in East Manhattan have kind of disappeared. Dave Odell has retired. Vivek is getting old, I think. Matt Morris and Dennis Maloney have not moved into East Manhattan yet. But to me, East Manhattan is a very, very viable place to sell high-end homes. That was not the case 20 years ago. There were a lot of little old houses, little old people, and all the fancy buyers wanted to be in the tree section.
It was like PV.
Like PV. But you really have now expensive homes. There are some pockets in East Manhattan that are really exclusive, like the 1200 block of 5th Street, the private road. There's also the Terrace Place, Ronda Drive area, which is pretty high in prices. You get big lots, like 18,000 square foot lots. So East Manhattan is not the poor people area anymore. A lot of rich people there, a lot of doctors, a lot of attorneys, and they're very involved in the schools. And Pennycam is a fabulous school, and Meadows is a fabulous school. So please don't shy away. When I compare a house in the trees, like a brand new house in the tree, and a brand new house in East Manhattan, most likely are going to be the same price. But one would have a 50 by 150 lot, one would have a 40 by 120 lot. One would have a 4,200 square foot house, one would have a 3,600 square foot house. So that's the thing. You get, for the same price, bigger land, bigger house.
More parking.
And parking, and schools. Okay? Lots. Remember last time I talked to you last year? And the year before?
Of course.
It's still there. This is 100 by 200. So it's technically can be subdivided to 2 lots that are really deep. The guy died 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't know, I'm losing track of time. They're not selling. They want their price. So next time when I talk to you, this is a new one. I was just talking to you about the Terrace Place, Ronda Drive, and all these liquid locations. That's a listing of an older home. Sizable, I think it's about 3,000 square feet or so, but the value is in the land, more or less. So that's what's available in East Manhattan right now. 23 pending. And add to that 2 that went pending this morning and yesterday. So, short sale. This one just closed 6.
709.
Huh?
I think it was 709.
Yeah, I think so too. You're right. Yeah, they're just so 705. Okay. Chestnut was a good deal. It's just very difficult to show. The guy wouldn't show it, and it was a short sale. So I don't know if they're going to get multiple offers on that or what the story is. This is Ross Cohen's little house on the cul-de-sac of 17th Street, right behind the the hotel, I think that sold and fell out. So it shows a long time on the market, but somebody got a really good deal because it's a nice neighborhood, except the lot was pie-shaped, so you didn't have much yard in the back. Manzanita sold very quickly, Lane Grove sold very quickly, and this is an REL. I put the picture in because that's a big, newer house, long history. I think it had sold before. The buyer found out there were issues that could not be solved. The title went into foreclosure.
It was in litigation.
And it was in litigation. So now it's pending. It's an REL. Okay, next. Robin Alicia again. What are you doing in my neighborhood? Sold, $1,752,000 over asking. First week on the market. Small lot, big house. Really, really charming. 47. Dave Seifert. Just talked about that. Sold very, very quickly. That's another issue, short pay. It's kind of like the 23rd Street kind of size home. Long, yeah?
Back on 18th, the appraisal came in.
Wow.
Yay.
Yay. Yes.
So that'll be.
It's really a pretty house. Okay. 2nd Street, that's been on the market forever, as you can see. You're very close to Aviation. You're on 2nd Street. I think it's one of those HBR old homes, as far as I remember. Nelson, I drove by because to me that's a lot of value in 25. Nothing's happening there. So I looked at the taxes, you know, so there's no sign of any builder. Could be a builder. We'll see. 6th Street, that's an Adobe style home, 50 by 150. Started 100,000 more and went pending. It's not lot value, it's a little bit more than lot value. It's a good size house. The problem with an Adobe house, first is finance, apparently you can't get loans on an Adobe. And the other is, you know how you can remodel something that opens up the drywall and kick the wood and open up the wall and just add on stuff? That's much harder. You have to actually break the stone. That's what I heard. I can't confirm that, but that's what I heard. At Adobe, there's an issue. But I'm sure you can get a loan somehow, somewhere, you know, and there are a lot of cash buyers these days. So how are they going to do? This is a good location. This, I talked about this 445 days on the market. I actually ended up selling it. Martinez Cross closing next week. It shows 445 days on the market. It was not that long. It actually sold for over $1.2 million as lot dirt to somebody who was going to build their home there. And then they found a property that they liked better on 6th Street. I believe it's the one that's 75 by 150, which are very few of those. Instead of dividing a lot into 3, they did it into 2. So 75 by 150. I believe that's where they're building. So they changed their mind and decided to sell it. It was a good sized house, but it had a lot of deferred maintenance. So they put a lot of money into it, fixing it up. New kitchen, granite, wood floors, and it sat. Nobody could figure out why this thing has not sold, why is it on the market for so long. They didn't know the history behind it. A lot of people had shown it when it was a dump, and in their mind that's still a dump. So anyway, that's a good solid 2,700 or 2,800 square foot house with 4 bedrooms. They also had an addition that was not permitted that blocked the garage. So my client, I'm going to move the garage back so they can get into the garage. Okay, next. Rob McGarry sold that for $1,350,000. Good size house. This was a short sale, dealer grant. Otherwise, it was sold for a lot more money, but it's pending, and $1,399,000. To me, it's worth at least $1,550,000. But anyway, it's a short sale. 8th Street, Korean development. You guys know the Korean development. I've talked about it many, many times. Okay, this is a duplex. 1159 10th Street. 50 by 150 with a big house on it, and like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath rental. So it's listed in the income property deal. 3rd Street, nice big home. Cindy Sharon sold that very quickly. And that's another one with a long history, 1832 8th Street. The point of all these long history, there's nothing on the market right now with long histories. All the long histories are gone, so all the good deals are gone. Okay? 8th Street, tough sellers, wanted it all, made it really difficult, wanted too much money. It's a really pretty house. I think 2005, a little close to aviation, sellable with a south-facing yard. A lot of people call me about it. What do you think? And they would make offers, but they wouldn't get it because the seller was stuck. Anyway, it's now pending. Everything's selling. 1555 8th Street, pretty house. They moved to Morningside, I believe. Jack's sold in a day. So is 5th Street, 22 days on the market, both 97. Look at that price. I mean, this is 97 built. It's a high price. But good locations. 1500 block is primo, especially on 5th Street. Okay, that was last week. 1999. That I thought was a little high for being east of Redondo, in the cul-de-sac there. And that's a really tough location. $328 on the market. Why? It's Matthews, the last street before Artesia. 1500 block, you have the kids parked in front of your house at party. Gone. I didn't want to go too far because in my opinion, what happened in November is no longer, it's history. Right now, what's happening is now. Market is strong, you list it right, it will sell. 13 closed since January. Marine Avenue, Wendy Way, tough location. And Zenita was not even on the market, sold off market. And that's again, that was Rob and Alicia. 1813 North Heron, Ross built home. My client bought it as a rental because they think properties are going up in Manhattan Beach and that the kids, people want to have kids going to school. And they decided, actually my client had a house on 6th Street 8 years ago and I sold it for her and disappeared. And then she called me 8 years later and said, I want to just get something in Manhattan Beach, especially East Manhattan. I want to make sure the value, that's where I want to put my money. There's lot value, 1643 3rd Street. If you're in a good location, top of the hill, 875 to 900, 50 by 150. Roland, long history. Julie had that in escrow, her buyers backed out, they took it off the market, a year later they bought it, right? More or less. Curtis was also on the market last year, couldn't sell it. Sold before even it hit the market. That's a big house, a little close to aviation. Good solid house. I would buy this one and I'll buy the one on 2nd Street I talked to you about earlier with a pool on a short lot on 2nd Street. 8th Street, Nick's, had that. Sold very quickly, 2 offers. That one I sold 5 years ago for $1,850,000. So that's the discount. That's not much. That's not 15% discount. They didn't do anything to it. They, just maybe granite in the kitchen. They painted the white cabinets blue or something like that. Didn't do much. The roof had the wood shingles as before. So again, instead of telling your clients, here's the chart, look at how it's going. Everything is selling quickly. Townhomes. That's what's active, 4 of them. Artesia, you remember, that was, John Garland had that, still on the market. This is a 200 lot townhome for $1,700,000, kind of like North Redondo type thing. The pending townhomes, this just closed, surprisingly at a really low price, $650,000. I think that's the end of the low prices on those. That's it.
Well, been foreclosed on. You still live there?
Uncalled for.
209 Aviation Place. That's the other complex that's newer is Manhattan Points. You guys know Manhattan Points? You cross Aviation Boulevard from 2nd Street, you think you're thinking around North Redondo, think again. We're in Manhattan Beach. That's a little triangle. Townhomes that were built about 6 years ago. They were selling that price. Well, so if you have a buyer who wants Manhattan Beach, cannot afford a single family home, want a townhome, and don't want an older townhome, these are the two complexes. Tennyson and Manhattan Points. Okay, income property. This one is the one I was talking about earlier as a duplex, and it's pending. And there's another one that's been on the market forever. This one, I have no idea. 14 units, 420 days. It's not my area of expertise. There's one pending that I found, 1810 12th Street. It's a
I jumped ahead, sorry.
what?
No, go ahead, continue.
1810 12th Street is 10 units and it's pending at $2,599,000. Who's buying East Manhattan? A lot of people coming in from North Redondo. Doing a lot of townhome corners. A lot of people from Holly Glen. That's the normal deal. Where are East Manhattan people go to? They got rid of their kids. They're going to the, not the trees, but closer to the beach. Closer to the beach. They're getting rid of their kids in the yard and the swings and want to walk to the beach and go have a margarita or a glass of wine somewhere. Okay, I think that's it, right?
No, there's one more.
Yeah, we love East Manhattan.